let's go ahead and get started with our announcements. It seems like we have a bunch. But before we do that, we always like to start the meeting with our mission statement. And Sabina has graciously volunteered to read it for us this evening.
WiVLA's mission is to provide an inspiring forum for women to explore and advance their creative development, to promote their work in the marketplace, and to infuse the community with their spirit of cooperation and invention.
Thank you. Gail. Yeah, I think it's important to remind ourselves of the mission statement. Your board has been working very hard to ensure that we keep all these three parts of the mission statement in mind in everything we do. And we'll have some announcements in the newsletter, the main newsletter that'll be coming out in a couple of weeks for you to read more about what we're doing. At this time, I'm going to turn the meeting to Gail to maybe introduce any new members or guests that might be present.
Well, I see a couple of names. Well, first of all, welcome to everybody, not just new members and guests. Welcome everybody. But I do see two names. Britton Eagleston, are you a guest?
Hello, yes, I am a guest. And if I need, is this for guests and members?
Oh, no, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Okay.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So we just wanted to make sure and recognize you and welcome you. And if you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you found us and all that.
Sure. So I found out about WiVLA through my mom, who's also on the call, Melanie Leslie. And I think she's been involved for a few years. I don't know all the details, but myself, I'm currently living in Fort Worth, and I have dabbled in the visual arts, but more recently I've been writing poetry. And so up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's a group called the Writers Garret that I recently was selected for being included in their anthology for a project called the Common Language Project, where they give everyone 30 words, and you have to write a poem using all 30 words with no variations to the words. So yeah,
very sounds like a challenge.
It is a challenge, but this is my second year participating and being selected, and it's a fun and rewarding challenge. So I hope to continue pursuing it and learn more about WiVLA.
Welcome. Awesome. Oh my God.
Before, in a few minutes, I will be putting my email on the chat. And if you want to contact us for more information, just you can do it that way. And
Okay.
I do hope to hear from you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure. And Melanie Leslie is another name I don't recognize.
Well, probably because my involvement with this was quite a number of years ago. And
unfortunately, it's not a very good connection.
There.
Oh, I'm on my phone.
Oh, that's better.
I had
Whatever
to
you
drive
did helped.
while the call started, so I don't know that I did anything, but okay. So I used to be a member of WiVLA. Gosh, I remember we wrote an anthology right after 9/11. We did some things, so it's been a long time. And I was a university professor for a while, and then I taught high school for 10 years and just recently retired.
Okay. Oh, we lost her.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, hopefully she'll make it back.
Yeah, there she is.
Ah, she's back. Sort of.
I think I disconnected and came back. I don't know.
You did.
So anyway, I'm going to go in the house and get on my computer, and hopefully the connection will be better.
Okay, well, as you heard
Anyway.
me,
Were you a
Yes.
making instructor at HBU?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay, so.
I know you, Rona.
Yeah, from WTA.
I know you, Rona.
We did a printmaking workshop with you from the Women's Caucus. We have a new chapter again.
Right. Right. I used to be very involved at the Printing Museum and Burning Buns Press and a lot of things like that. And I'm pretty good friends with Lee Steiner. I don't know if she's on here tonight or not, but anyway, so just kind of getting back into the scheme of things after retiring from the classroom. Let's just say that. So now I'm trying to get my studio practice going again.
Great.
sounds like a busy life.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
I'm glad you
I
both
guess you
decided to come
heard me.
tonight.
You heard me tell Britton, my email address will be in chat shortly. And be sure and
Okay.
contact me if you'd like to rejoin us, and I'll
Okay.
walk you through the process.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. And Darlene Kosrapor, do I pronounce that correct?
Yes.
I think you renewed a couple
Yes.
of months ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I knew the name looked familiar, but I couldn't remember if it was because you were new a few months ago or renewed. But you renewed.
Renewed, yeah.
Okay, well, welcome. Are there any other guests or new members that I missed?
I think so.
Okay.
Everyone else looks familiar.
Okay, good. Welcome again.
Okay, I know she's here. I just saw her. Elisa.
Yes.
Hey. Do we need to remind people about signing up for the virtual gallery?
For the virtual gallery, well, I
Yeah,
know
the virtual.
I know I have people who signed up for I see in September, and then the next one is Lee. So I'm not really sure.
I think we have some intervening months to, I think, what is this? We've got May and June. Yeah, we have May and June, but we need July and August, I think.
July, August.
Yeah. So
We need the two visual and the literary for July, August.
yeah, so we
Yeah.
need everyone. Because if y'all don't sign up, then you might have to look at art from the board. So just putting that out there.
We'll just put our stuff up.
Yeah, we'll just say, and yeah. And so, yeah, it's such a great opportunity to get your work out there and share it on social media platforms. And we've had some really unique ways of the literary folks sharing their work as well. So sometimes it's, short poems, or I think, Ellen had some flash fiction, if I'm remembering correctly, incorporated with some artwork. So, if you've got any questions about how you can do this, be sure to reach out to Elisa. You can find her in our directory.
And this is another situation where a literary and a visual artist can pair up, because yes, I did not do the artwork on my piece. I just did the writing, and it turned out really nice.
Yeah.
Thanks to Melody.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Okay. Literary. Gladys, there you are. You've moved around. You've zipped.
Oh,
from
I'm
one side of
here.
my screen.
I'm here.
So, anything going on in LaPorte this week?
Oh, yes, Poetry by the Bay. We are hoping to have a good showing of WiVLA meetings and also people from the community. I hope if you're not going to read that you at least come down and be an audience and enjoy some of the great, we always have great events in WiVLA, and this is certainly going to be a good event because of the people. I saw a few of them that were signed up, that are going to be doing the reading. We are planning to, they're going to have refreshments for us. So we'll could have a little break and to have like a second half, something like that. If and so just have a good time on Saturday. Another in-person event. So it is from 11 to 1. If we happen to end at 12:30, there's no crime. You know, we shouldn't go over 2 hours. Is a nice event for time. So I think so, and I hopefully, I don't know how many people have signed up, but do you know, Melanie, about how many have signed up so far?
It was about the same number as the readings. So you've asked me this before, and I should look. It's the eight or nine or so, and
Okay.
I didn't realize that Carolyn wasn't going, but now somebody else is going. So
And I did not make a video of myself, but I am going to the event.
Oh, wonderful. And so that's the question I have for Melody.
Poems, I mean, just a small donation to anyone, if you have poetry to read and you didn't sign up, just let us know. Just let us know. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I just can't imagine it would be a problem. If we go till 1:15, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
That's
right?
not, yeah.
If you hadn't signed up and you want to read, I would suggest you not read for 30 minutes, but
no more than 10.
That's say, yeah. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I really don't. And our calendar on our website has this event, and it also has a second event, which is signing up to carpool.
Yes,
So if you are interested in carpooling, maybe you don't want to drive, but you'd like to, hitch a ride with somebody, or if you want to drive and want to have company, sign up for that and meet us at Sawyer Yards. And we've got a map on the calendar and all that, and it's close to the freeway, so we'll be able to get on the freeway pretty fast and get down there, and as well as signing up to attend the event. So that gives us an idea, and the library about how many people are going to be there, whether or not we need 2 cookies or 20 cookies and things like that. So yeah, I have been lucky enough to get a preview of the poetry, and I got to say, you need to go. You need to go.
Now, I have a question, Melody. The recording are those the poems that I'm supposed to be reading, or do I read different ones?
I don't care.
Okay, good. I didn't want, because I wanted to sound different. I was like, okay. I don't. It's up to you. Okay, that's what I wanted to make
up to you.
Okay, I didn't know. Were we locked into what was videoed and maybe out there?
Yeah, I am not going to stifle anyone's creative spirit.
Oh boy, well that's
not me. Not me.
Not you. Oh, that's
No.
right, not you.
No. Okay. Special projects. Is June here?
No, I don't see her.
Okay. So, gosh, our exhibition called Hope at Field Elementary was a real success. The parents and teachers and the kids all enjoyed it. And then the PTO came back to us. We've since taken the exhibition down like, I don't know, a week or so ago. I'm losing track of time. But they asked if any of the contributing artists to the exhibition would like to donate their work for a PTO silent auction. So several of the members did. And so those pieces will be in the auction on the 30th. And I was looking at the PTO Facebook page. They don't have anything posted yet. I'm hoping to get some information about that before the newsletter deadline. But so I'm really excited that just kind of keeps giving and giving. So I think that's really good. We've got our name out there. So I've been very pleased about that. So Smithers Park, I've got 2 people on a call that can probably, or 3 really, we've got a lot going on with the park, that can talk to this. The deconstruction heiress, Gretchen McDaniel, can probably update us on the status of the deconstruction.
Okay, my husband has gotten a demolition hammer, which is kind of like a jackhammer for the wall. And he's gone out there and he's gotten almost all of the old stuff off, except for a piece maybe about this big. And then just a little tiny bits and pieces of cleanup work. And so he told me he was gonna go out there this week. I will make sure he honors his promise to me. And finish that up. And then we'll be ready, full steam ahead.
That is so exciting because that gives us a nice palette,
Yes.
if you will, for
Yes.
putting the design up there.
Mhm.
And speaking of designs, I believe one has been submitted so far. Is that true? Two have been submitted. Okay.
Well, I sent mine in. I felt, having come up with the idea, I thought it would be pretty remiss if I didn't send an idea in.
Yeah.
And we still have some time. I know, I want to get with somebody to work on something as well. And so, but we need the palette and all that cleaned off. And for those of you who haven't seen the park or seen the wall to see what we're talking about in person, we have an opportunity for you. And to talk about that is, can't find her on the screen. Where is Margot? There you are, Margot.
Yes, we will have a picnic in the pavilion on Saturday, May 14th from 10 to 1. So bring a chair, fetch your lunch and a beverage, and meet us under the pavilion. So you can see the mosaic wall that we're going to be decorating. If you don't have a partner for the collaboration, for the reflection collaboration, you can do that. You can find someone there. You can take some groovy selfies to post on your social media. You can also check out the Orange Show. And on the calendar I put, it's home to all things weird and wonderful. So it'll be fun. I've threatened to do a sexy photo shoot if nobody shows up. So no one wants to see that.
It's unfortunate that I'll be working. Yeah, someone's gonna have to take some video for me. Yeah, and in addition to having an opportunity to find a partner for the collaboration, which is awesome, being around other members, which is great, you may also get inspired to create a design for this space. I mean, this is just like going to be the most perfect day, May 14th. And even if it's like sprinkly or rainy, there you'll be eating under the pavilion. And Margot has made a reservation. So if somebody's in our space, you can like tell them to move along. In maybe using performance art, and the space is ours.
Yes. We'll bring Gretchen's husband's new tool.
Okay, that'll do it.
I want to add that when we get the design agreed upon, everybody on the list that contacted me and says they want to help with construction, I haven't been sending out any information because there's nothing to be had, but we'll have a meeting. And because it will all have to be coordinated and collecting the tiles that we need and how to do it. And I'm sort of roping in people who are mosaic experts on the wall to come and, to help. So watch this space kind of thing. Yeah. So I do hope we get some more designs coming, and I think everybody's waiting till the last minute.
Yeah, well, that's how it
works. Yeah.
That's hardest.
Yes.
What's the deadline? What's the deadline?
1st of May.
Okay,
oh, we may have to extend that a week or so.
Yeah.
Maybe to the next payday in May or something like that. But yeah, and the call for entry is on our website. If you go to events, I believe, Natalie, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's an item there about the Smither Park. Is that true? I'm going from my memory, so it's really flawed. Natalie, is that right?
So if you leave the deadline May 1st, that's
I'm
before.
looking myself.
Okay, yes. I know, I was like, you spend a lot of time on it and all of it, don't go to it for a couple of weeks and it's a blur.
Yeah, it is there.
Yeah, so if you go to events, it's under Smither Park Mosaic.
So under what conditions would you extend the deadline?
You know, we still have a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
they've had a heads up. I mean,
I would really love to have 5 designs to choose from. I don't know. It just seems like a nice number. It's like 5.
So all of the date you have for the get together, besides it being second Saturday, it's also after your deadline.
That's right. That's true. So it's true.
We could also have it on that date, the picnic date. We could have a little tour of the if there's not people there working, of the warehouse.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. And that is fun to see.
The warehouse has treasures.
Yes, it's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy who's in charge of getting, organizing everything said that we could take a tour.
Yeah.
So that would be fun. So there's lots of reasons to go.
Yes, indeed. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I think that's it for our special projects. Margot, do you want to give us a little update on what's in store for us at the May meeting and some of the workshops you've got planned for us?
Okay, this is a teaser for Ellen. Hello, Dracula. So I know she loves it. It's for Ellen. Okay, our speaker in May is Kate Weiss. If you don't know her, you should know her. She is a fantastic writer. She's a teacher who is a magician at helping you find your voice and honor your voice. And I can't say enough about her. If you don't love her after the May meeting, I can't be your friend. Let's put it that way. Fantastic.
So how is she going to connect with Dracula?
I just did that to tease you. She gets to the heart of the matter. She gets to the heart of the matter.
I thought we were going to have characters come alive. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay, and then on May 28th, we have a studio visit with Gail Siptak.
Hello.
Wait a second. Wait.
Hello.
Who is saying hello? Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Margot.
Oh my God, it's Dracula from the grave.
What have you done?
Okay. So May 28th, we're having a studio visit with Gail Siptak. It's a Saturday at 10 o'clock. She has a beautiful garden and a wonderful studio in Oak Forest. And so we can go out and maybe have a little brunch after that. Then we have a literary workshop, Hooked on Ekphrastic, on June the 4th from 10 to 1 with Lorette Luzak of the Ekphrastic Review. And then we have a visual artist workshop on September 17th, 10 to 1. And we'll learn how to sketch. And I'm really excited about that. So be sure to check the calendar. No, first go to the website, log in so you can see everything. And then you can look at the calendar for updates and to register. And so should be a great fall. I mean, should be a great spring and summer.
Yeah, the good events just keep on coming. Are you keeping the name of the artist in September a secret? Because you didn't mention her name.
The artist in September. Oh, I didn't have it down there. Oh, Cheryl Rossetti.
If y'all know Cheryl Rossetti. This is so exciting. Yes.
This will really, this will sort of be a fundraiser in a way.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because she's not charging us very much.
Right. She has said she wants to donate the greater part of it to the Echo Fund. Oh, what a coincidence. Okay. So with that,
I believe so.
I think we need to get into the heart of our meeting. Thank you, Margot.
Can I ask one question? What's the deadline on finding a collaborator?
I believe it's June 1st.
Oh, okay.
Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I'm going from memory here.
Yeah, well, I don't have anybody. If anybody's interested, let me know.
And I think, okay, let me just say, thank you for bringing that up. We really, really, really want you guys to find a partner because we have lots of wall space. And so we're not limiting the number of partners. We're limiting the size somewhat. We're limiting it a little bit on the width, but it can be like, I don't know, like, well, it has to be able to fit in the door. That's the main thing. I mean, so it could be fairly large.
I missed the announcement of where it was going to be.
Oh, it's in Lee College in Baytown.
Oh,
it's a huge gallery.
So an amazing venue. Yes.
And yes, and they are just doing so many things for us. I don't have time to go into it here, but it's going to be a fabulous show. There's in the past, we've had some restrictions where one person couldn't be in two different partnerships. That's not a restriction this year. So for example, if you are a literary person and you want to work with two different artists, you can do that. Or if you're a person like Gretchen, who is literary and visual, and you want to be the literary component in one and the visual in another, you can do that. So y'all, I just want you to go wild, but the theme is reflection. And Joe's already wild down here. So hey, Joe, I didn't see you sneak on. So yeah, and the requirement is you're a member. So you need to join at least a day before you sign up. And, and start getting creative. So thank you, Rhoda, for reminding me. Okay, so this is a very special evening of the year. When I first joined WiVLA, I guess I'd been a member for about 4 months. I joined like in December, and so it was the following April. I attended the first meeting where I heard about this Echo Fund. I didn't know what it was. I was pretty impressed about what I saw. I believe I saw Lee Steiner was one of the recipients, and she was talking about how she had spent $1,000 that she had received as a grant the year before. And when I was finally eligible, I just was so nervous about applying, and would anything that I want to do be worthy? And I just think this is one of the most wonderful benefits that this organization has, and is very much supports our mission of helping advance women's creative development. And we're not restricting you in any way of how you spend this money. It's like I said, I've heard people have put in a special septic system to deal with the chemicals they deal with. Some people have bought printers, some have gone on trips. It's just, you are the one that decides. So the only requirement is, in addition to being a member for 2 years, is at the end of the year, you have to tell us how you spent your money.
How you spent your money, yeah.
That's right. We want to know. So up this evening to tell us how they spent their $1,000 that they received last year are, it looks like it's Darlene, but it's not. It's Gretchen McDaniel and Marie Casamayor Harvey. So I'm going to go in alphabetical order by literaries by genre. So literary is going to go first. So that would be Gretchen. And so if y'all would mute yourselves while she's talking, and I don't know what.
It's not it.
Are you talking to
Sorry.
me, Gretchen, or?
No.
Sorry.
I was talking
Okay.
to Darlene.
Okay.
We were muttering to each other.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So I am going to spotlight you, and you have the floor.
Okay. And it says Darlene because I'm in Austin visiting Darlene, and we're on one computer. Okay, I'm going to introduce this first with a little side note. It's not only about how my ECHO plan changed from the time that I applied, because when you apply, you have to give like a little blurb of how you think you'll spend your $1,000. But that can so change. I want to show you how it can change and yet stay true to the intent of the fund. Okay, I'm a native Houstonian, but I lived in Detroit from 79 to 87 for 8 years until I came back home, newly divorced with a toddler. Tail not between my legs, it was straight up. My initial plan was to go back to Detroit to observe the city, to awaken the memories of the huge auto factories there in the city that evolved to accommodate them, to set under Diego Rivera's Detroit industry murals that vibrate with life and purpose, and then to write poetry or prose in response. As the plan grew, I heard that the Art Institute of Chicago was to host a solo exhibition of Bisa Butler's quilts. By this time, Karen Farrell, who's also a WiVLA member, and I were talking about taking the trip together. So we decided to add Chicago to it. By the time we'd fleshed out the Chicago portion of the trip, we realized something had to give. So since the Bisa Butler exhibit was going to close at the end of August of last year, we decided to make that the focus and forego Detroit for later. One of my Facebook friends knew an Art Institute employee who volunteered to give us a private tour of the exhibit. We got tickets for various Franklin Lloyd Wright tours, booked our flights and hotel rooms, got maps of the transit system, made all sorts of plans. Then Delta happened. With a lot of angst, we burned down our plan, canceled everything, got all our money back, and sometimes we're still second guessing our decision. However, after my husband and I got all the COVID vaccines and boosters we could get, by the end of October, he and I decided to go on a 2-week road trip up to Minnesota and back. Those travels are what ended up inspiring my ECHO writings. So here we go. I've got some excerpts from those writings. Preparation. The upcoming trip had turned into a quest, a sacred quest. When I was 23, I moved to Detroit on a whim. My boyfriend of the time was from there and wanted to go home. I expected gangs in the streets, huge factories, spilling pollution, and abandoned houses. I found magic. Yes, there were orcs and trolls in the streets. There were polluted and abandoned wastelands. There was also art in all caps. There was music. There was music to be found in the deep caves disguised as basement bars, punk and blues that made my bones vibrate. There was magic in nature. I roamed the vast lands full of meadows, of forest, of lakes and sky. And most magical of all, I found a soulmate, also known as Laurie. I met Laurie and her sister, who adopted me as the third sister. In this fairy tale, don't expect an evil ogre, or the discovery of a treasure that is cursed. I frequently see life through a fairy tale lens or magic quest, but not all fairy tales have a lesson to teach or a triumph of good over evil. I suppose if this trip has a lesson to convey, it's that if one walks in love, love just may win. Keith, my husband, had met Laurie and her 2 children once before, about 20 years ago, but had never met her current husband or her now grown children's spouses and their children. However, I've been up there many, many times. I'm close to the whole family and I view them as my family up north. So this trip, this quest, was a presentation of royalty to royalty. It was also a pilgrimage. After a few years of doing nothing more than long weekends away, could I get my husband to relax, not to worry about the shop? And those of you that have run your own businesses, yeah, you know, you obsess about your business. Would we enjoy each other's company on the road for 2 whole weeks? Would the 2 branches of my family like each other? Would he ease himself into my treasured lands up north? And so it began. List after list after list. The planning was full of what ifs. What if the weather changed, turned cold? Were we open to taking interesting roads to see where they went? Or was our focus getting there? If there were junk and antique shops along the way, were we open to stopping and treasure hunting? We finally decided that on this trip, the people were the focus. We needed to get up there quickly in order to have more time with the people, more time building and strengthening relationships. So we went. One night on the road, then we were there. No searching through dusty junk shops. No detours to art museums or galleries. No wandering down unexplored windy roads. Again. And then we were there. And it was magic. Their house is outside a small town, central Minnesota, 3 acres surrounded by protecting aspens, a pond full of healing energy. We stayed there for a week and we even had Thanksgiving a month early. And my Keith and her Michael are now friends, good friends. And they text each other just because they're friends. Because that's what friends do. We took long drives, saw the beautiful fall colors of the trees, soaked in bliss at the edges of lakes. Her 3 grandchildren, ages 4 to 7, they are wild princesses, full of life and exploring the power they hold. Her 2 children and their spouses are so very precious and willingly shared their hearts, their fears, and their passions with us. They all call me Aunt Gretchen. And they all love Keith. And he has fully swooped them all into his heart. Then we left. We left with the promise to come back, with the promise to stay family, all of us. Okay, that's it. I've written more, but this was the polished bit for y'all. And now Lori and I are both writing essays bouncing off of each other about our Detroit memories and life since then. They may be published at some point. I'm not sure when or how, but this project would not have gotten the kick that it needed without the ECHO grant. And I thank WiVLA for that. And thank you for your attention. That's me.
Thank you. Thank you, Gretchen. Before we move on, you can all unmute yourself if you have any questions or comments for Gretchen. Well, Gretchen, I just got to say, I love Michigan, and I was always surprised in that general area of Detroit, all the little lakes. It's just amazing to me because your idea of what Detroit is very different. And Michigan is, I married a Michigander and almost Detroiter, outside of Detroit guy. And yeah, I've been back there many, many, many times in the last 30 some odd years.
But you still have not gone to see the Detroit Industry murals.
Correct.
At the Detroit Institute of Arts.
I now have something.
I have. I have. Hello.
I'm trying, is that Kay? Yeah.
So it's Joe, I think.
Oh, Joe.
Hi. I was born in Detroit. I know the Detroit Institute of Arts well. It was our favorite place to go to, which we still do every time we go back to Michigan to visit family. So to stand in that rotunda and look up at all those murals
Yes, it is.
I'm just blown away every time I go there and see them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great museum.
It is,
Everything.
oh,
All
it
so
is
good.
beautiful. The architecture of the whole city, everything
Mhm.
is magical. Yeah.
I
And
never
Belle
thought of-
Isle? Do you know Belle Isle?
Oh,
Belle
yeah,
Isle?
oh, God, yes.
Oh,
I never thought
that
about
was
it
where
before. Go ahead.
that's where I went on my first date.
Belle Isle?
Ooh, oh,
Belle
cool.
Isle.
Oh my gosh, that was a great fountain.
So
Mhm.
Gretchen, you mentioned working on some essays. What might be the themes of what you're working on to write about this?
Lori and I both have a very, we see magic in everything. We see, yes, we see, I mean, everything can be translated into a very otherworldly, magical viewpoint. And she started 3 or 4 years ago writing a series of essays, and the beginning of each, and when I say essay, I'm talking about, you know, like chapter length writings about her thoughts on anything and everything. And she had the idea to write a book called Dear Gretchen, because it seemed like everything that she was interested in, that she started writing, she would end up calling me. You know, and back when letter writing, before social media became a thing, back when letter writing was cool, she used, her writing is fabulous. And she would, you know, always write me these wonderful long letters and lead me on all these tours of her life. And, you know, it's so like, Dear Gretchen, da, 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 da. So she started each one. And so now with this, she was like, you need to join me. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. So yeah, so now we're just like, we'll say, do you remember when this happened? Okay, let's both write about it. So yeah.
And you'll get the different perspectives too.
Exactly.
Even though you're of a similar bend in your mind, you'll get a different perspective.
Yes. I mean, we were well, my only child and her first child, we were pregnant together. We have a lovely memory of being out in the middle of Houghton Lake. I don't know which, you know, if anyone knows Houghton.
I do.
Okay,
I know
Houghton Lake. We in the middle in a canoe and a storm coming up and us both pregnant and trying to get back to the shore again. Yeah, I mean, we just have all these memories that we want to write about. And yeah, from different perspectives and reignite the magic in them.
I think it sounds like a wonderful project for the young ones in your North family. All your little ones are gonna love reading this and love having it.
They will. Yes.
Yeah.
I never
They're
thought about it
all
before tonight, but it stands to reason that a place that would Motown would come out of would have some spirit there. I never thought about it as being a center for the arts, just music, period, end of statement. But it's got the architecture, the art. So that's not surprising now that I think about it, which I wouldn't have without your presentation.
What was, so Joe, what was Detroit's nickname? It was like the Paris of what? I mean, it was, I mean, pardon?
The Midwest?
Was that what it was? I can't remember,
I think
but Paris
was something of the Midwest. Yeah.
Yeah, the architecture, I mean, you know, there was a lot of money up there.
There's a lot of old money up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the really nice places to visit is Greenfield Village.
Yes.
Because you see all the history. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a special place. I mean, I could talk
3
all
days.
night. Yeah.
It took us 3 days to see Greenfield Village.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great place.
It is just.
And as a Minnesotan, Gretchen, what city were you
Wait,
in?
who's talking?
Corey.
Oh, cool. Okay.
What city were you in Minnesota?
I was in Brainerd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically, they live in East Gull Lake, which is even tinier than Brainerd. It's like next to Brainerd, and I forget the name of the other little town that butts up against it.
Okay. I just need to know so I can.
Of course. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gretchen. I am now going to, let me see, I have to do something technical here. I'm looking for Gretchen and that's not working. I'll look for Darlene. Okay. And Marie, as the visual recipient, yes, you now have the spotlight.
Oh, and may I share screen?
You may.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say that Gretchen and I are studio mates, and yes, she does really see magic in everything. And it's just wonderful having someone around like that. Anyway, just had to say that.
Thank you.
And okay, so what I did with my money, I went to Total Wine, the end. All right, you're expecting a visual presentation, so let's see.
We take pictures of wine.
Yeah.
All right, so.
And I know what kind of wine you like.
That's right. All right. So it was not just 2021, it was 2022 also, because I just finished the last bit of the project. So let me introduce myself for those who do not know me. I am Marie Casamayor Harvey. I am a Houston-based artist. I was born in Cienfuegos, Cuba, to a Colombian mother and a Cuban father. We had to flee Cuba when I was 6 months old, and we settled in Colombia, South America. We came to the US when I was 12. My early childhood was riddled with political unrest and turmoil, and which I believe has greatly influenced the colors and themes and images that I pursue. Or I have been told that my art is too harsh, but you know, so angst, anxiety, but most of all, healing, because that's what art does for me. It heals. So I've been an artist all my life. My parents nurtured this by buying me tons of art supplies, and my parents got me an encyclopedia of art, which, you know, is it any wonder I studied art history after that? I discovered early on Kandinsky, Miro, and Picasso, and I was just all these incredible images just sort of, you know, created a path for me. My favorite books are books about art and books about art movements and books about artists. So you will seldom find me reading novels because I'll be reading 4 or 5 different art books at a time. Every work has a story to tell, and I'll just share a few with you. I like to explore a spiritual, emotional, and musical theme. So with the Eco Fund, I used it for 4 main projects. Let me see if I can go back here. Oh, I'm not. Hold on, there we go. The first project was a project I called Collage Magic. The second Saturday of every May is World Collage Day. So that was my very first project. I created a series of collage to honor World Collage Day, which was May 8th of 2021, which is also our second Saturday. So I unveiled these, what I thought were fantastic new pieces. I also created a virtual exhibit using exhibit.com. it had the same title, and I featured all these images and a few other favorite ones. A little bit about collage. Collage dates back to hundreds of years, but in the early part of the 20th century, Georges Braque and Picasso coined the term papier collé, sorry. And just collage enjoyed a reemergence, and it became a very distinctive part of modern art. So this is one of the first pieces, and I just have a few from that series. This is all paper. So I also have a fascination with African masks, and I have done a few pieces related to masks. And so this is all bits of paper. The masks themselves are intact. I just enhanced them a little bit with some pencil drawing. This is another one. It's all paper cut out. This image right here is a pit from a fruit. And I showed it to Gretchen, and she said, "Ooh, that looks like a dangerous vulva." So I just called it dangerous. This is another piece from the series. I have explored this theme of Genesis and rebirth, and this is the third one, my third Genesis. This one is a river runs through it. It's all paper. This is torn paper. This itself is a gemstone that I cut out from a jewelry magazine. A little departure from the ovals. This one is called Traces of the Past, and I created two, this one and this one. So those are just a few from that series. So it appeared that I worked in series last year for some reason. The next series I worked on was called Improvisations on Paper. And this is a series of collage and mixed media works inspired by music. The idea was sparked by Kandinsky's collection Improvisations, for which he created paintings inspired by music. So some of his most spontaneous pieces he called improvisations, and more elaborate ones he called compositions. But I just like the idea of improvisations. So I'm sharing a few here with you. This one, the imagery is just all Kandinsky. I love his colors. This is another piece. This is also a collage. All bits of papers cut out. This was a piece that was inspired by Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 5, which is a concerto in 3 movements. So the black lines not only represent each movement, but also the piano. This piece, I was listening to Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, which is one of my favorite symphonies. And every time I listen to that piece, it's also known as From the New World, I always think of New York. So it's interesting. I was working on the layout for this piece, and just before I glued it, I showed it to Gretchen, and she says, "That looks like towers." And I said, "Yeah, it does look like towers." Then we both realized that it was 9/11 that day, 9/11/21, and I have been listening all week about 9/11/21, which was the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And so this image it just blew me away after I realized the coincidence. This is a small drawing. It's chalk and pastel on paper. And it was inspired by Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries. I'm a big fan of his Ring Cycle opera series. I even saw it when it played here a few years ago. This piece is called Concerto, and it was inspired by Johann Sebastian Bach Brandenburg Concerto number 5, also a concerto in 3 movements. So it appears that I like pieces in 3 movements. Just realized that. This is a piece called Cities and Dust. I have been on a Susie and the Banshees kick lately as Gretchen. I've been playing the singles for the last few weeks. So this piece, Cities and Dust, is named after one of Susie's songs. This is another collage. Wotan is one of the main characters from the Ring Cycle, from Wagner's Ring Cycle. And that represents his broken sword. This piece is a composition. The gray papers and the yellow paper were cutouts from an ad for rugs. And then I added the black marker with a red background and then mounted on black museum board. So this piece, it was actually inspired by Schubert's Piano Sonata in B major. I get on these kicks about music when I'm listening to a piece. I see the colors and get to work on sketching them. This is Log, God of Fire, another character from Wagner's opera or the Ring Cycle. It is paper, and all of this is oil pastel, and this line here is also oil pastel. This is another piece inspired by Susie and the Banshees from the song by the same name, Spellbound. And when I created this piece and I finished it, I had a sense of closure. And I thought, that's it. The series is complete. I didn't set out to create X number of works. I ended up creating about 17 or 18, but this one just made it complete. I didn't know when I was going to stop until I created this piece. The next series is the 10 by 10 series. So if any of you are familiar with Hardy and Nan's 10 by 10 show, it's one of their biggest shows, and they do it every January. Last year, they didn't do it because of COVID. So back in December, I messaged them and I asked them if they were going to do a 10 by 10 show this year. So I thought, I want to start thinking about this because I worked in rectangular format, portrait orientation. So it takes me forever to wrap around, to get my head to wrap around the idea of a square. And so I thought, I want to start planning this early on so that I can get my mind into that square vibe. So these works, they actually act as a visual record of recurring themes that I have visited and rediscovered and investigated. This one is a mixed media work. This right here is cork paper or a cork sheet. Do not do this at home. Cork is a pain to cut. With the best X-Acto knife, cork is a pain to cut. I thought I will never use cork again. I actually think I used it one more time, but just so everything else is paper and this it's cork. And this was when they announced the exhibit at the school. Let me see, let me go back. When they announced the exhibit at the school called Hope, I thought, oh my God, I got the piece for it. So this was part of the Hope exhibit. This is all paper. This one I called Red Galaxy, for lack of a better name. This piece is a little departure from my bold colors. I called it Dreams. Just bits of paper from all over. This is part of an ad for a rug, and this is part of an ad for furniture. So if you have magazines, I take them. Don't throw away your magazines. This is contrapuntal texture. It is also a musical term, and I gravitate to, I really like the combination of green, red, and black. So this is one more with these colors that just really are vibrant to me. This is another musical piece. It was inspired by Offenbach's opera, Orpheus in the Underworld. And the story is that Orpheus was distraught after the death of his wife, and he went to the underworld to rescue her. This was the last piece of the series. This is a mixed media. This has a little bit of everything. It has acrylic, marker, pencil, paper, ink. So I was very pleased with this one. That was the end of that series. And the last series, which I call the big ones, is the last project. It was a very exciting one to create. I decided to create some large scale paintings because I have been working in a small format for a while, and I thought I'm just going to go big. And I studied or channeled Miro and Le Corbusier. They created in these incredible large pieces. So maybe I borrowed their colors. So this is the first one. It's 60 by 46. I had done a collage that looks very similar to this a few years ago, and I was not going to sell it, but someone wanted it. And I always thought, well, and I sold it. And I always thought that would make a cool painting. So when I got these large canvases, that's the idea that came to me. So I tried to recreate that collage with a few variations here and there. So it's acrylic and oil pastel on canvas. And to give you an idea of, to give you a sense of scale, it's big. And then this is the other one that really just finished it like a couple of weeks ago, before our last open studio. Like the other one, it's also acrylic and oil pastel on canvas. And there I am with it again. And they're the same size, 60 by 46. And before I go, I promised Melody that I would feature one of my finds. It was actually Gretchen's find. There was an artist at our studios that was moving out. And I had been telling Gretchen that I wanted a big table to put in the middle, and it would be used for everything, for collage or mixed media, painting, you name it. And she found it at this artist studio, and she said, you got to have it. And sure enough, she sent me pictures. I said, yes, yes, yes. And here it is. And we had a little session last week with some friends. So we put great use to that table. And then the last thing is even bigger. So that is future project for the summer. And you have no idea how incredible. Well, some of you have created large pieces, but for me, creating in this large format with large paint brushes and a ton of paint, there is such a sense of freedom that I'm really loving these huge pieces. I'll probably have to rent a U-Haul if someone buys them. So they do not fit in my car. And that's it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. I stop by your studio on a regular basis, so I've seen I've seen all these works, and you're an inspiration. You
So
really are.
last year was really a huge, prolific year for me. I thank WiVLA for making these projects possible. And thank you all for letting me share my journey.
It was wonderful.
Fabulous.
I do have a question. On a given month, you have, this is Gladys Bay Bullock, how it worked was great. How many pieces would you say you sell in a month or in a quarter, like a 3-month time? Because the work is so good, and you know, it's good work. So, and to be able to do a studio and be able to produce, it's such an awesome experience to have a gifting and to be appreciated for it and to be valued at monetarily, not that the money it's the most important thing, but to have something that you are gifted with. Yes, you developed it, but there was something in you. There was something that just kept you going. And that's something, and here it has materialized before our eyes. So again, I'm just it was a good presentation. I won't talk much more.
Thank you. I just have this incredible surge of energy. I think since we moved to our new studio, it's just such a wonderful space with such incredible energy that I just find myself, I love going there and creating. Just, again, since we moved there, I have been so prolific and just exploring lots of different media. And so, who knows where this will lead to.
I have can I say something?
Please.
For one thing, Gretchen, your partnership and Marie and your partnership with Gretchen is very rare. And it's such a you feed off of each other. And yet you're completely different.
Yes.
I've got goosebumps just thinking about it. The other thing is, both of you have quite a following. And I've been, a friend and I went years ago when you were in a little bitty place. I can't remember.
We've forgotten that.
We had to keep looking for you. Nobody knew where it was. But it's different to see pictures of it and to see your work. And I have a question. I don't know if it would be too hard to go back to Spellbound, the one with the yellow. I just don't understand. Is all of that cut out of one yellow? Or I mean, you know what I'm.
Let me find it. Let me go here.
Oh, it's funny. I wrote the name of that piece down myself. That was the last one of the series, I believe.
Yeah, that was the last one.
It's just a very dynamic piece.
Actually, this was a gem because I had
that one.
It was from an engineering magazine, and it's one of these technical magazines. And when my husband reads these magazines, I can't wait for him to be done with them so I can tear him up. And really, it was just an ad for something technical or some engineering product or God knows what. And I just tore the page, and this was part of the ad. I don't even remember what the ad was for, but it was for something technical, some drilling or something. And that was just part of the ad. And I just cut around it. And I played so much with the layout. I had a ton of different layouts. And then finally, when this fit like that, it was just perfect for me. And I just knew I was ready to glue it. That's usually what happens with my collage. I play around with paper. And at one point, it's like, oh my God, that's it. I got to glue it. So it's a very powerful piece. I had experimented with different color backgrounds, and then finally decided that the black would make the yellow really stand out, and that's what I wanted. And then I used a neutral gray to, tone it down.
Yeah.
Question, I have a question. Marie, what kind of glue do you use? And do you use a printing press to flatten your collages?
No, actually, I know a lot of people hate rubber cement, but I use rubber cement because it doesn't leave any bubbles. I've been using it for a long time, and I use a roller. And as soon as I lay it down, I roll it to get rid of any bubbles. Also, with rubber cement, you're able to get rid of any excess glue immediately. As soon as I roll it, I start removing the excess. And to me, it's a very clean finish. You're able to remove it without seeing any glue all around it. And I've tried other glues, and I'll research others too. But for me, that works. I have pieces that are, 20 years old and have aged quite well.
Marie, there's a question in the chat.
Okay, let me stop
from-
sharing. Okay, let me see.
Okay, well, no, it's about this print in particular, I believe, from Denise. Have you thought of taking some of your smaller paper collage pieces and creating large size paintings from them?
I have a few of my collage. Yes, I have created large paintings. And not all of them lend themselves to the change in the format, the scale format. But yes, I've been successful, I believe, with a few of them that I've created large paintings.
And I think when you showed that last image, or one of the last ones with the big table, that showed a test run of a workshop that I believe you'll be offering as well.
Well, Gretchen and I were planning on starting workshops, and then COVID hit. Really, back in the summer of 2020 or spring of 2020, we were going to start doing workshops, and we thought, small workshops, maybe 6 to 8 people. And then we can both take turns while some people are working with me doing paper collage or mixed media. Some are working with her doing fabric mixed media, and then change it up, or people create in whichever medium they want. And so it's still a plan, but we're kind of playing it by ear until things are better. And this was really nice when we had our friends over. Let me see. Yeah, when we had our friends over. Yeah. And it just felt like, this, we feel good about doing this. So moving forward, yes, that's part of the plan.
But it was kind of like a test.
So Marie, if you go back to the other picture of that table, and I think there's just one question, just leave it there. And then there's one question from Gail.
In the chat?
Yeah, it went away. Do you know a way to remove paper glued to paper with rubber cement after it's been dry for months?
I have tried it several times, and about 50-50 success and failure.
That's a hard one.
It really depends on the paper. If the paper is very thin, it's very difficult. If it's like a cardstock, or a thicker paper, you can do it.
But do you just peel it off, or do you?
Yes.
No, you don't. Okay. There's no.
You peel it off and hope for the best.
Okay.
Yeah. So on this table, in this picture, are 2 boxes.
What
are those?
Did you see that?
Yes, and one box says literary,
Writers?
and one's right. Is that what it says? Right.
Writers?
It says writers.
Writers. Okay, I was looking at the top of it. I thought,
oops.
Oh,
is that your PC or mine? It was like,
oh, I don't know what happened here.
I hope it's yours. Okay.
I
Anyway.
don't know what's going on.
Wait, before Before you talk about the boxes, can I add one comment?
Sure, while we still have her here.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. I just wanted to add a comment. I mean, it was really entirely by chance that both Marie and I had both won the Echo grant. Both of us were kind of stunned. But okay, between both presentations, you saw, what we do. It is just, there's something so magical when you can find another artist who you are compatible with. You may do, and this is for everyone, visual artists, writers, performance artists, anyone. You can do entirely different things. You can have entirely different goals, but every once in a while, you will find someone that you're more creative when you're around them. And Marie and I have both lucked into that.
Yeah.
We use each other's colors.
Yes. I was just
going
to say that, it's a point that Lillian brought up about that our words are so different. We have started using each other's colors.
Yes.
I'm using a lot of orange and blue, and that comes from Gretchen.
And I used to never use red.
And she's using red and green.
Yeah.
I love the red, Maria.
And black.
I love the
And she's
red.
using black too.
But when you find someone, a creative someone that you seem to be creatively charged around them, not necessarily even having the same vision, but you are creatively charged around them. Don't let that person go.
And that's what's so cool about WiVLA, that we almost like force ourselves to find that person, even for a short period of time, a couple of years. And it is, I've just met some amazing artists, literary and visual, in this group. And it expands your horizon each time you meet somebody.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, back to the boxes.
So boxes. So
you see what I did there?
Yes, I thought that was great. I love that. So you don't have to, you can stop sharing your desktop.
Yep.
Okay. And I've removed the spotlight, so when somebody else talks, you'll disappear. The spotlight will remove from you. So going in the same order with literary.
Yes.
There we go. There's the box.
Magically, the box appears.
And Gretchen, would you like to select a name from the box?
Oh, there are names of literary artists in here who have submitted, who have the recipients of the grant. So I'm gonna, Darlene, would you hold this box up? I sure will. Make sure I can't see anything. Ooh. Okay. I have the saw. I'm ready to cut in half. Wait, where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay. I have a name.
Ellen.
Ellen
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, anytime.
And I, for those of you, I've met people who have entered this every year. This is my first entry into this.
That's good.
Now I'm going to have some fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, WiVLA.
All right. Woo. Here we go.
Oh, the artist.
Oh, Marie, come on.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Mary Jean Carter. I don't believe she's here tonight.
Oh, I can't. Oh, Mary Jean Carter.
Hold on, let me hold it. There you go. Mary Jean Carter.
Yeah.
Move back some.
Well, that, yeah,
There
that,
it
okay,
is.
there we
Yeah,
go.
that's
Yeah,
perfect, perfect,
okay.
perfect, perfect.
All right. Well, oh, I'm sorry she wasn't here to see
To
that.
get this, yeah, it's a big day.
2 presentations tonight, you set the bar very high. So we'll be presenting a year from now.
Yeah.
Just be true to yourself and walk in love.
Oh, that's it.
Hello?
Oh, I think we're okay.
Get quiet with that.
I know.
I think we're.
Is
Well, I have a
is-
question. Who is Denise? There's a Denise here in the meeting with no last name showing. So I'm wondering who that is.
Denise Bozart.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Denise,
Yeah, and she walked away.
No video available tonight. That's what it's saying.
Oh,
Denise.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we lost Melody.
Yeah, I think we did. She.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, okay. Well, here I am as VP. I'm stepping in.
Yep, take it.
That's
Take it away. There she is.
Oh, no, Melody, I had it. That's okay.
Okay, so I just was bounced out. So whose names were drawn?
Oh, you missed
Oh, you
the
didn't
whole
see
thing.
it?
I missed the whole
Oh,
thing.
my God.
I just got that in. So who got
Ellen
literary?
got the literary.
Oh, yay!
Yes, our own Ellen.
Lots of Grim Reapers and ghosts to coming. Just
Oh, boy.
And Mary Jean Carter got the visual.
Oh, Mary Jean. Oh, okay. So she
Uh-huh.
texted me right before the meeting. She was on deadline and could not dial in. And
Okay.
I told her that I would give an eloquent acceptance speech on her behalf.
Okay. Well, it's,
And so
And then you got bounced.
and I got bounced.
you did.
Yeah. Those two things aren't related. So Mary Jean, one of the things that she was telling me was she does, and one of the things that she loves doing is pet portraits for friends. And quite often she's been asked to do one for a friend whose pet has just died.
Oh, wow.
She's also very active in pet rescue, especially dogs. Matter of fact, she was telling me after we had the meeting with peacocks and was it magpies and peacocks?
Magpies.
Yeah, they've this group has often had their fundraiser called the Fur Ball at that place, which I thought that was kind of a cute name. Anyway, more appropriate for cats and dogs, but anyhow, but so she, really is hoping that she can do more of this, that she, since she was kind of giving this stuff away with her money. So I will get in touch with her right after this meeting. So I know she's very excited.
Did you tell her, are you going to record her acceptance speech? And
Oh,
yeah, so I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out. So I've got my computer totally ran out of gas. So when I saw these messages coming up on the screen, I thought they were on Marie's computer and they were mine saying your battery. So things weren't quite plugged in all the way. So I'm sorry, y'all. But I think it's still recording because when I came back into the meeting, it said that the meeting was being recorded. So that's the beauty of having 2 co-hosts. So if you, just a little tip, when you're the host and your battery runs out, there goes the meeting. Everyone's removed. But since I had 2 co-hosts, the meeting.
wow. They kept going.
Yes. So
and I was ready to step in and take WiVLA in who knows what direction.
I know. You know what? You're going to have your chance.
You go. My 8 months.
So at this point, I'm going to try to get in, but Gretchen, if you want to give people a chance to talk about things that are coming up that's going on, I'll let you do that while I try to figure out how to get back in a better way.
Okay. So does anyone have any member news? Anything creative? Rona? You need to unmute.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
There's probably somebody else. I think Melody might have a piece in that too. I was juried by Lester Marks into the VAA exhibit that opened at Sabine Street.
Mhm.
And I have to say, he talked to me afterwards and kind of hoping to buy it because he was so complimentary about the piece that was juried in. And also, that there's an event at the studio buildings, which affects many people. I will actually be out of town that weekend, but it's April 30th.
April 30th is our
2 to
spring
7.
biennial.
2 to 7 is the spring event. So stop by all the studios.
I think Sawyer Yards named it the Spring Showcase.
They changed it from biannual to something else.
And
Spring
they made it
Showcase.
earlier in the day. It's usually evening, but I know we're having in the silos, there'll be music and Patrick Palmer is going to talk. So look it up and see what's happening in each building.
Yeah, there'll be food trucks and whatnot. There'll be entertainment all over the place. Yeah,
and there will be art to buy.
Yes, please. That's
minor detail.
Yeah, I would love some of us to sell some art. So
yeah,
make our rent.
So one WiVLA member did she get an honorable mention or third place? I can't remember. In the Lester Marks show. Okay. Oh, now I'm gonna go crazy.
Have you got the catalog there?
I've got, she's like the first person in our directory. Marie, it's Marie, she goes by AM.
Marie Pierre.
Cher. Yes. Cher. Is that Cher? Is that how you say her name?
Yeah,
Cher?
yeah. And she did something different for her from what most of us have seen from her. She had a little sculpture of a bear, a little clay piece. And most of us know her for her cutout wood self-portraits and other things like that, where she puts herself into the art.
So I had something there.
Donna had something.
Donna also. Yes, and Lester wanted to hang Donna's in a different direction.
And my cities in dust is actually there.
That's right. You've got a piece there. So WiVLA's represented.
It's a nice show, and Main Street doesn't get a lot of business traffic, so go by and see it and give those artists there some support too.
And when you're done there, cross the street over to Spring Street, and there's an exhibition there. It wasn't juried; it was curated, but at least a couple of us. I know Marie and I both have something right in the front hallway
there too. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got a piece there as well.
Yeah, it was for anybody in any of the buildings. So
right.
It's also a nice exhibit.
Yeah.
I would like to invite everybody to come to Archway Gallery this Saturday from 5 to 8. We're having our 46th anniversary.
Wow.
So, a lot of you have had some connection with the gallery reading there.
Yes.
And it would be so great to see a lot of you come. It's going to be like a regular thing. There's going to be valet parking. There will be refreshments and everything. And we'll have it from 5 until 8. But at 6:30, we're having champagne or some bubbly.
So after you get back from LaPorte, take a little nap, and run down Dunleavy, valet parking, and champagne. I mean, and art.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
What
That's
a
pretty cool.
day. I mean, poetry in the first part of the day, art.
And that's
a win, 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 win.
win.
Is the whole pack.
Win,
Yes,
win.
Corey.
I wanted to let you know that the Printing Museum has the Montrose Spring Market this weekend on Saturday in the afternoon. I'm going to be in it.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
I have some collages and some cards. And then 2 of my books were accepted in Rochester, New York's Museum of the Book. I think it's called. So I got 2 of my books accepted in that. So they'll be there.
Fabulous.
Summer.
Awesome.
And I guess y'all know that you can share this information with your newsletter editor so that more than just this group. And remember, she's waving over there. If you can't remember Sabina's name or her email address and you don't want to go to the directory, it's always newsletter@wivla.org. So, okay. So this means there's no time for a nap. You get back from LaPorte, you go.
You go.
See, Corey, and then
you go for champagne.
Right, and then you go down Dunleavy. So it's a full day.
It is a full day.
Full day. Get a good night's sleep the night before.
Wow.
One more thing that is happening at Archway, because we did an Earth Month for the love of Earth, for Earth Day, and all of us participated in some sort of work that addressed that theme. And we're going to have a man from Environmental Coalition, Citizens Environmental Coalition, speak Thursday night, sort of about the circular economy, which really isn't. It'll be about recycling things. And so that will be at 6:30. It's free. If that is something that is very interesting to you, please come.
Oh, and yes, Marianne. By the way, Marianne, where are you anyway?
Well, I'm in Oregon. I escaped. We moved from the Heights to Montrose. It was a grueling 4 months of renovation, buying a house, selling a house. And finally I was like, I've had it. I'm going skiing. So I'm hanging out where it is January. We're having snow like crazy up here, but I am in Oregon.
Where in Oregon?
In Hood River.
Okay.
It's an hour east of Portland. It's on the Columbia
my
River.
sister and her family's in Portland. I've been there many a times.
Oh yeah,
Hood River is
Portland
beautiful.
is it anymore. We're kind of like backwoods, which is
the Hood River area is.
What I wanted to say was, it's not this coming weekend; it's the following weekend. But I teach a lot for Write Space. Now it's online because everything's online. But they've brought back their writing conference this year, Write Fest, and it's happening the last weekend of April. You can sign up for small workshops where you actually produce new work and you have it, critiqued by other, and then have a really well-published writer who is leading it. They have those, and then there's the conference that weekend. There'll be breakout panels, there'll be lectures, like mini workshops. The keynote speech is by poet and activist. Well, I think she's basically a writer and activist, just doesn't do poetry. Mahogany Brown, if you're familiar with her work. So go to writespace.org and all the details will be there. It'll give you information about, I think there's there's poetry, there's flash fiction, there's literary fiction, I think there might be a speculative fiction workshop. But yeah, whatever your pleasure, take a look at it. It's going to be good. And everyone's really excited to have it come back this year after the COVID hiatus.
Exactly. Thank you. I forgot. I was just juried into a show. The theme of the exhibition is trees, and it goes up the 29th of this month through June 9th. So
Oh, wow.
it's in
Good, that's
Johnson.
good.
It's in Johnson. It's the A. Smith Gallery in Johnson City. It's a photography studio. I was excited about that. It's my first non-silver gelatin piece. It was taken with a digital camera. I know, it's like, I'll have to delete this part of the recording.
We heard nothing.
No, we're allowed to kill you all. Okay.
I think Margot has her hand up.
Yeah, I might have mentioned this already,
Yes.
but I will be doing spoken word poetry in the Fringe Festival, May the 15th. It'll be
Oh,
3
that's
days.
the 15th.
It's 15th at the match.
Oh, wonderful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, wow. At the, okay.
It's spoken word old lady style.
Oh. And what time is that?
It's 8 o'clock Sunday night.
Oh, oh, my God.
I know, it's late.
Well, makes sense.
I know.
So one person that's been very quiet, Lisa, are you still with us? It seems like you have had something going like every weekend. I get dizzy following you on Instagram and Facebook. So do you have something going on right now?
I'm at the Heights, what is it called? The Heights Art Studios and Gallery, but they're not really I guess they're not really open during the week. So they're gonna be having like weekly events for the next month.
Okay.
Like throughout the rest of this one until May.
Okay.
And
Where
then
is that?
in the Heights, I have no idea. Like I just put it into Google and I'm there.
Okay.
Like,
I should
don't
know, and I can't tell you. So yeah, I'll look on Instagram and find it. Somebody asked a question. Jean, were you the one that asked the question in chat? Who asked it? Okay, I'm gonna have to
Is there
look.
somewhere I can watch the recording?
Yeah, that was Jean. Yes, so I will post it. Give me a couple days. I will post the recording on our YouTube channel, and I always put the link in our Facebook member group. So, and yeah, so give me a couple days.
There was a question.
Wait a second. I think Gretchen's been waving.
Okay. I just want to let y'all know also, me, Marie, and another artist that a good friend of ours at Winter Street, Ricky Mittman, we are having a 3-person show at the Silos, which is one of the buildings in Sawyer Yards, through the summer. The soft opening will be May 14th. We will have an open reception on May 21st.
Is that in the 200 or the 100?
It's in 200. Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay,
Yes.
good.
Right by my studio.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
You'll see us.
Yeah, since you moved, I wasn't sure where your studio was.
Yeah, it's 120 right there.
So,
Okay.
so the nice thing is they will be able to, as members of WiVLA, post an item on our calendar about that.
Right.
So
Yes.
looking forward to that. So everyone can see that and get the details about that.
Yes.
I saw
Okay.
a question before, way up in the chat, from somebody about glue, and that was from Marie, and I don't know if it got answered or not.
It was from Gail.
Okay, just wanted to
Thank
make
you.
sure that she answered it.
We're watching out for you, Gail.
That's great.
Okay, anything else before we go? Well, this has been a fun evening. It's been
a fun one.
thrilling in some regards, but there's been an awful lot of wonderful information sharing. It sounds like people are just going and blowing and things starting to open up. Check our calendar. We've got a lot going on. There's tons of opportunities to see each other in person. And I encourage everyone to do that. And the next one is this Saturday. So Check out the calendar for opportunities to meet up, to carpool. If you have your carpool all set, you don't want to see us, there's also directions on the next event on that same day on how to get there. So look forward to seeing you either at the parking lot or at the library on Saturday. Thank you, Gretchen and Marie, and congratulations to the 2022 Echo Fund.
Yes, congratulations.
Exciting.
I got to get to work.
Yes. What are you doing? Get busy. All right. Y'all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week, and I hope to see many
On
of you
Saturday at
Saturday.
11 o'clock. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. All righty.
Okay. Good night, all. Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.